Fellas, I survived the most insane weekend of my life at Home Gym Con, and trust me, the stories are a lot heavier than your sumo deadlift. The No Fate channel, checking in, where we skip the fluff and lift the truth. Jonathan here to take you along for a blazing Q&A about Home Gym Con. I mean, everything that you've been asking me about, the jaw-dropping new equipment releases, which boots absolutely tanked, and yes, if Coop is taller than a 12-year-old. So grab your shaker cup, hit that like button harder than a PR attempt, and let's just play some Monday morning quarterbacking when it comes to Home Gym Con.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You've got questions and I've got answers. I'm gonna give you my top three. Now we know, number one, this is the company that took the actual award, and that is ATX, a German company, and unfortunately, they absolutely 100% deserved it. I mean, they not only sent over a massive amount of equipment all the way from Germany, they had an entire WWE rig set up. It was monstrous. I absolutely expected Jimmy Fly Snuka to jump off the top rope with the big elbow, and they also had, like, I don't know, 24 staff on hand to answer all of the questions. So it was just one of those over-the-top moments where it was hard to give top booth to anyone else. And ultimately, I honestly expected a lot of other companies to step up in terms of the booth setup, style, and size, and I was a little disappointed in some of the bigger companies. Now, second place, I've got to give it to Black Widow. When I walked in and saw their booth, I mean, it was small, but it was mighty. It absolutely looked like an art museum in terms of how aesthetic all of the equipment. Looking at it, you can see the difference between handcrafted pieces made here in America and the stuff that just rolls off the assembly line. Third place, it's the little guy, 922 Designs. This company is an army of one. Marcus, he is the man. I bought in some of his end caps for my barbells, and he does just some fantastic designs, and he works with people to specifically give them what they're looking for. And at the end of the day, I know the power racks and the all-in-one stuff gets the big hoopla, gets all the views, but what most people want after they've had their home gym for a couple of years is they want crafted pieces that are specific to their home gym, that are one of one, and 922 Designs can deliver. And frankly, as far as souvenirs go, the one souvenir I actually bought at Home Gym Con, yeah, it was a 922 tumbler mug that he had designed. It looks fantastic. I've been using it every day, so hats off to Marcus. Let's talk about the worst booth. And when it came to Home Gym Con, some booths knocked it out of the park, some booths absolutely tried their best, and some booths absolutely just mailed it in. No! And there were a number of booths that I saw that I actually expected to just do more, both in terms of the presentation of the setup as well as how they greeted people who were just kind of there to look at equipment. But the two that stood out as falling flat on their face, number one, the one I had the most hype for was Jocko Fuel. Number one, Jocko wasn't there. Now, you can't have Jocko Fuel without Jocko.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I was really disappointed that I wasn't going to get a photo next to Jocko and just say the words, good. Now, the other issue is that Jocko Fuel does have supplements that they sell and promote, but they also have energy drinks. So I was thinking, well, if Jocko's not there, they're gonna pull out a huge case of cold energy drinks and toss one to everyone who comes by. No, Apparently they either weren't allowed to, or they didn't want to, or they just couldn't. I don't know all the issues behind it, but only thing that they had at the booth was like a few samples of like generic protein, and it was a big disappointment, especially where I started off expecting Jocko, hoped to at least get an energy drink, and I walked away with like a free serving of whey protein. I need to thank all of you for using my affiliates, which are in the description of today's video, of course. Everything is down there, from home gym equipment, supplements, and even toilet paper. Whatever you need, it's there. Let me know when you use those links in the description so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation.
I was in the pool!
Now, when it comes to worst, the second one on my list is because I had high expectations and they were absolutely dashed, and that is Fringe Sport. When I whirled up to their booth, I honestly expected to see this massive booth with so much of their amazing equipment because they've got so many pieces that are honestly undervalued in terms of how good they are. And when I got there, it was like, nah. They didn't bring a lot of the stuff in their lineup, especially some of the greatest hits that I think they absolutely needed to showcase to people, like the Raptor bike wasn't there. Also, I couldn't find Peter Keller. Now, Peter Keller is an absolute treasure. He's the owner of Fringe Sport, and when it comes down to it, it's always nice to press the flesh with the owners of the company, just to kind of mingle with them, get to know them, say hello, get their take on whatever questions we might have. Now, looking back at some of the video, I guess he was there. I don't know how long or when. I was there Friday and Saturday and even Thursday night I was there. I never saw him, but there were other people that I know were there that I just didn't happen to see, like two boats passing in the night. So that might have to do with why I'm putting this as one of the worst booths. Again, only because my expectations were high and my experience was low.
Hit the bricks, pal, and beat it.
Now, the questions I got asked so much in my Instagram feed when I was posting about Home Gym Con were, is Coop as tall as he claims? Is Gluck as big as he looks on camera? And I'll be honest with you, I've never really worried about what other men look like in terms of height or build. I don't know if I'm just confident in my own body, but it was astounding how many of you really have inferiority complexes. Yes, Coop's as tall as he claims. He's a tall guy. I didn't look at him and think like, oh, he's on the shorter end. He was tall enough for me. I don't know. I don't think he was trying to squeeze an inch on any of us. He's as tall as he claims to be. And Gluck is not only an awesome guy, but yeah, he's big, he's strong, and he's got receipts. The dude has done powerlifting competitions, and his numbers certainly overshadow mine as well as his massive pythons. I don't necessarily know why so many dudes are worried about what other people look like in person, but there's your answer. What do I want to see more of for Home Gym Con next year? And this is 100% Monday morning quarterbacking. It's very easy when my money isn't involved and I don't have to do any of the work to tell people what they should do a better job of, but here it goes. More giveaways. When people come to conventions, they want to get free stuff. That's just kind of the name of the game. They want tchotchkes, they want little widgets, they want keepsakes and all that stuff. They want to fill up a bag with $5 t-shirts and just have a field day. And some companies were giving out t-shirts. I think Bells of Steel was probably the one that was actually giving out the most free swag. I know Jocko, as I mentioned, was giving out free protein. Even Rep Fitness was giving out free protein, but I think a lot of other companies should have stepped up and given out more free stuff. And I know that isn't free when you give it out and say it's free because you got to pay for it, but it is a great way for people to leave your booth feeling good. And then when they get home and they open up their freebie bag and they go through it, it's another way to remind them of who you are. Now, one of the best things about going to Home Gym Con is the opportunity to take home a lot of great home gym equipment at like rock bottom basement prices. But the truth is, a lot of people who are flying in or they're just driving up in like a sedan can't take home a massive power rack or an adjustable bench. And I really wish companies at their booths would give instant coupons, meaning here's a physical piece of paper with a coupon for an extra couple percentage off the website, whether it's 5 or 10 on top of what you could normally get. And that way they could go home, and if they saw something they liked at the convention, they could then purchase it with that coupon code. I can't see how it would hurt the company because the people would have to actually buy something in order to get that extra 5% off discount. And at the end of the day, why are you going to Home Gym Con as a company? It's to generate sales and awareness. Home Gym Con really needs to push the vendors to have more thought out booths. Now, we had booths like ATX that were beyond thought out, that were beyond impressive and amazing, but some of the companies that showed up didn't really have much to offer in terms of the booth decor. And I understand, I can imagine, I'm assuming that it is exceptionally hard to bring heavy equipment and get it set up, let alone try to put stuff down so that it looks like you have a specific section so that you have like a backdrop and so that you have ways to pull customers in and to get them excited about your equipment. A lot of companies, unfortunately, which is fine, I get it, totally understand, they literally just brought their equipment in, plopped it down, and Bob's your uncle. And I think more companies need to kind of make sure that they're going the extra mile to really pull people into that booth, give them a reason to stop in, give them something that says, hey, that looks nice, let's go check it out. Now, one thing I thought was a big miss, and I already kind of touched upon it, and that was Jocko Fuel. They just really didn't deliver, in my opinion, in terms of what my expectations were. When it comes to the home gym community, we are all chugging energy drinks, we're chugging coffee, and we are hitting that pre-workout like it is going out of style. And I really wish there was more supplement companies as well as energy drink companies. I think that would be very low-hanging fruit to interest people. Now, when I spoke to Jake about this last year, he said he really only wanted one company to represent supplements, and he probably just picked the wrong company. He probably should have picked a bigger company that was used to putting a booth together and really attracting attention and giving out tons and tons of samples. Now, one thing I really would like to see, and I don't honestly know if it's possible because of the nature of how people are buying booths and how the sizes of the booths and the setup is concerned, and that is to have like a grid style. When I went in there, it looked like it kind of had some semblance of a grid, but it was more like Boston, where we don't care if you get lost, we don't care if you know where you're going, whereas New York, as much as I hate to admit it, is grid style so that you know right where you are and where you need to go in terms of the booth numbering. Now, when it comes to Home Gym Con, there are so many events going on. I mean, they got strongman, they got grip competitions, they got hybrid competitions, tons of competitions going on at the same time. And one thing I wish there was, and if there was this, I certainly didn't see it, and maybe I absolutely missed it, and that is an itinerary of everything going on so that you know the powerlifting is starting at this time and the grip competition is going to be here at this time and this day, so that if you wanted to go and watch those events, you could. I feel like I probably would have watched more of the grip competition if I knew exactly when it was starting, but that's just the name of the game. It was very, very hectic, and there was not enough time to see it all. What do I want to see less of in 2026 at Home Gym Con? And this is something that is controversial because I know so many of the other people online on social media don't want to hurt anyone else's feelings, but let's just say it like it is. A lot of booths were pumping out their own music. And I know at face value it seems like a good idea. Let's get the crowd going, but it was ultra annoying. I mean, you're trying to talk to people about their product and the booth behind you is like pumping some type of German disco, and it's just like overbearing. I mean, if you really want to put out music at your booth, I would say keep it to an absolute minimum, because I know a number of booths who were off-put by other booths that were just blazing music, and it was just more of a nuisance, and it made the issue and the experience that much worse because you didn't really go to Home Gym Con for like pumping music. You went to Home Gym Con to talk to these companies about the products, test them out, and to kind of go back and forth with your ideas as well as your experiences on what might be right for your home gym. What do I want to see less of next year? Less content creators. And yeah, I am part of the problem. A lot of content creators were filming throughout the day into the night. Some of these content creators even got kicked out because the convention was shutting down. And I can appreciate trying to get as much content as you can in a small amount of time compared to how many companies were there. But I think it hindered a lot of average people who just wanted to go there, test out the equipment, talk to some of the employees, figure out what might be right for their next purchase for their home gym. And they had to trip over tripods, and they had to make sure that they didn't get in people's shots. Now, I don't necessarily even think the content creators knew what they were doing, or they were actively trying to get in people's way. I know, at least in one instance I saw at Force USA, one content creator, and he didn't realize it was happening, was setting up some shot. He was working on like a 45-minute video where he was talking to the camera, and every time a customer would come over to look at the Force 6 equipment, the owners of Force 6 who wanted that publicity from that content creator were kind of pulling them away from the equipment so they couldn't actually try it out and use it, which is what they came to Home Gym Con for anyway. Now, listen, I know this is the pot calling the kettle black. I did try to film most of my stuff early in the morning. I got access before it even opened, and I was down there just filming away as much as I could, especially without the music blaring, to make it a little bit easier for the audio not to be so terrible. I even filmed on Thursday night when I got in off the plane in order to try to get as much content as I could, but not impact other people. And I don't necessarily know how to adjust the balance of that, how to fix that. It might be a good idea to try to set up early hours for filming and even like an earlier day for companies to kind of work with content creators to show up a day early and just film without a lot of people milling about. That way, when the convention goers come, they have full access. Do I regret not going the previous year? No, I didn't have the money and it was going to cost me money. And the time that I didn't go to Home Gym Con, I spent with my family. And when I'm on my deathbed, I'm never gonna be complaining about spending too much time with my family. What about the Benjamins? Was going to Home Gym Con this year worth it? And the short answer from a financial standpoint is no, it was not. Obviously, when you go anywhere, you are expending money for the flight, for the hotel room, for the tickets, for the food, for everything. And oftentimes, if you're going on a vacation like this was, you're also taking time off of work. So either you're using a precious vacation day or you're not getting paid. Personally, I had a ball. I definitely think it was worth it for me in terms of the experience that I had. I went in there with my eyes wide open. I got hit in the face right away and everything went out the window. And at the end of the day, when I came back, flew into Boston, into Logan, I was smiling ear to ear. I had a ball. I met some great people and I was happy that I went. Would I go back? And the short answer, hell yeah. Obviously, Jake has a great thing going. They put a ton of work, both him and his entire team, into it all year round for that really small window of a great event, and he delivers. I think 2026 is going to be bigger than any of the previous years, and it just shows how fast this community is growing and how great this convention is. If I go, I know I'm gonna lose money, and that's fine. That's just the name of the game. I would be going just to have a fun experience, and I would probably have a much different take on the videos that I filmed, knowing that some of these content creators are going to be just uploading it like a few minutes after they stop hitting the record button. And by the time I get any of my videos out, there's just going to be so much overload that it's not going to be watched, so why bother? I would try to kind of sniper my videos to do a better job of getting content that no one else is getting from a specific angle, rather than just trying to chase my tail doing booth tours. I personally plan to go back next year. I know they're pushing it out like an extra week or so into the last week of July and August. Get your tickets now. But I will tell you, at the end of the day, if I can't afford it, I won't go. And if it comes down to going to Home Gym Con or taking the family on a vacation, things escalated pretty quickly here. Who would have guessed? Beautiful summer vacation. I'm choosing the family every time. Sorry, not sorry. Hopefully we can make everything line up and I can get down there for a number of days and just have a ball. Make sure that I'm filming the right kind of content and not just chasing my tail doing booth tours, because I think that is a recipe for lost energy. Plus, the best part about Home Gym Con wasn't touring booths. It was meeting people and talking to them, asking them about their setups, their home gyms, seeing what they've been lifting, what they're training, what type of programming they're using. Besides me, who was your favorite YouTube content creator?
There aren't any after you, so.
And what type of equipment? I saw a whole bunch of people with like these commercial grade cameras. I thought we were in like a movie. It was crazy. And I'm sitting there with like my iPhone and maybe my backup GoPro, thinking that I'm super professional. And these dudes they got gimbals. They got things strapped to them so that it's like nice and even. They got flashing lights. Man, I don't even know. They've got synced up audio. Man, oh man, sometimes you're so far behind in the race, you think you're winning. If you made it this far in the video, you're probably my mom. But if you're looking for more fantastic Home Gym Con content, then check out this video right here. As usual, use the links in the description, hit the like button, and don't save anything for the trip back.